What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Calm Down, Let's Talk About This. Today we are talking about Star Wars Episode 7. I'm here with my good buddy. I'm Michael Del Castillo.
I'm John Luke Lawa.
And let's get the show started. Okay, everyone. So we're back on this podcast. We've been gone for a while. We've all been busy.
Yeah.
But today we're talking about Star Wars Episode 7.
Yes.
Great. Very, very anticipated movie. If you haven't watched the film, turn this video off now because there's going to be a lot of spoiler talk.
It's been a month. Why haven't you seen it? Go watch it.
Yeah, exactly. More than a month. Almost 2. Yeah, like, go watch it. Seriously. I think I have a date with the girl who hasn't watched it yet, but that's fine. So it's a date with the girl.
Cool.
Because I'm a loser. It's okay. Alright, so John Luke, first impressions of the film.
Alright, so to set this up, first impressions, I have seen the film 4 times, and my first time watching it, I absolutely disliked it. I didn't absolutely hate it, I just absolutely disliked it. It just didn't feel like Star Wars. It felt really... it felt really kind of fake, almost. Like, they were trying too hard to act like Star Wars, and going in, I had like a lot of my own expectations, things that I wanted to happen. Like, I really wanted Luke Skywalker to show up, or at least more than he did in the actual movie. So then I was really depressed, and so I went to go watch it again. The second time I watched it was on the Saturday weekend that it came out.
Okay.
And that was at the Chinese Man Theater, and there were like a bunch of Star Wars fans that were like really, really hardcore Star Wars fans, because this was at the Chinese Man Theater where Star Wars premiered in 1997, or 1977, sorry. And so that was an intense experience, and I just enjoyed the film for what it was. I just let go of all my expectations and what I wanted to happen, and it was just so much better. Third time, same thing happened, raised it even more. Fourth time was super
You're
awesome.
on board.
I was like, yes, this is my movie. Star Wars is back. It took me 4 times, though. 4 times.
Dang.
How about you?
Well, I watched it, you could say opening night, but at 4 a.m.
Dang.
So
that's dedication.
I watched it with Brandon.
Right.
There was like we couldn't get the tickets to.
I got my own online
tickets.
tickets.
So I mean, we just settled for Americana.
I left you out in the cold. Sorry.
Yeah, I know you did. But we just settled for Americana, and I loved it. I mean, it felt Star Trek-y a little bit.
Yeah, it did.
It definitely had J.J. Abrams' like signature stamp on there. I was surprised there weren't like lens flare effects from the lightsaber.
Oh,
not from the lightsaber. Yeah. We were expecting that. But I mean, overall, it was good, and it brought back Star Wars, and it felt like a brand new adventure has started.
Yeah.
And definitely. I do want to talk about that a little bit later, because that whole adventure feeling, it's kind of probably why the prequel trilogy is getting so much heat.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll talk about that. So overall, what did you like about the film most?
So mostly and generally, I liked the new characters. I loved Rey. Rey is so kick-ass and so beautiful, and I love her so much. Finn is also really good. At first he was a little annoying, but then after I sort of understood his character, and his character is a little glossed over. Like, why does he defect? He hasn't had any. In the movie, they mentioned he hasn't had any prior. What do you call it?
Like occurrences or whatever.
Getting in trouble. He's never gotten in trouble before. But then all of a sudden he decides, oh, people are dying. I don't want to be a part of this. I'm gonna just defect and shoot the Empire guys instead. Like, it seemed like he had a problem with people dying. So then, I guess it was the Empire who was killing people, so he had to kill the Empire. So I guess I get that. I
was a little bit confused at first, like, wait, aren't they all clones? But then somewhere in the film, I listened to it. It was the second time that I watched it, that I caught it. They were just kidnapped children who were brainwashed and programmed to be soldiers now. So
from the canon, like, if you read, like, the books, something happened with the clones as they got older, so they couldn't be they're not stormtroopers. Stormtroopers are different from clones entirely.
Right.
Or for the most part, so... That was even in like 4, 5, and 6. They weren't even clones anymore.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, they did do a nod to that.
Yeah.
They're like, we should use a clone army maybe instead, because this guy's defecting. So I thought that was an okay nod.
Yeah, it was alright. Captain Phasma.
Captain Phasma, yeah.
I was surprised that it was a woman. I thought it was a guy.
I knew it was Gwendolyn Christie.
Oh, like from IMDb?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And from other like previous interviews. I've been watching Star Wars interviews for like 2 months leading up into.
But she's kind of like a Boba Fett, like really not inconsequential character.
Totally
and
underused.
Yeah, I thought it would be like some crazy thing.
So that's the part I didn't like.
Okay, let's go ahead and move on to disappointments, because I think more or less the things that we liked were the same.
Yeah, pretty much the same.
But like dislikes, they were pretty much different here now.
What didn't I like about the film? You go first, actually.
Okay, what I didn't... Well, it's not that I didn't like, but more I was disappointed in. The casting for Kylo Ren.
Oh, all right.
He doesn't seem evil. And I think I know why. I think they're going to save him throughout the trilogy.
That would be so cool.
Because, for as much heat as Hayden Christensen gets for being a bad actor in the prequel trilogy, he seemed like a legitimate bad guy. When he made his transformation to Darth Vader, I was like, okay, I buy this guy as a Sith Lord.
Yeah.
Kylo Ren, not a Sith Lord. He kind of looks like just a guy who's confused at the moment between, going back to the good side and being just trying to be like Darth Vader.
Yeah.
But I think that's why the casting was like that, because they needed a good guy.
That is a good point. I mean, it could definitely happen. I've seen some artwork that's been circling around online where it has Rey becoming the bad guy and she has a red lightsaber.
Yeah, there was a spoiler on that I saw.
Yeah, that would be so cool. I would love to see that.
Yeah.
But yeah, to your point, I don't think the casting was great. I still really enjoyed the character of Kylo Ren.
He doesn't look like he's the son of Han and Leia, though. It definitely, you could see.
Yeah. You could see it. But what I didn't like about him was let me go to what I did like about him, because I actually liked him. I liked that he wasn't as dark. Like you didn't like that he was too good.
Yeah.
I'm getting so mixed up. You liked the fact that he...
No, I didn't like the fact that he wasn't dark enough.
Okay, you didn't like the fact that he wasn't dark enough. I like that fact. Stay with me, audience. I like that fact. Because you could see, the inner workings of his mind. I love the line where he's like, I feel the call to the light. I thought that was so powerful.
Right,
This guy, wants to be bad, but you just know that he isn't. He just doesn't look it. Mm-hmm. He's trying too hard, and he just fails all the time, or he doesn't please Emperor or Supreme Leader Snoke, and he's really desperately trying to, so he feels a lot of conflict, and he has the call to the light, and he has tantrums all over the place. It's awesome.
I love the tantrums.
He's more complex than Darth Vader. If you think back to episode 4 or 5 or even
Darth Vader's plain
6,
bad guy.
He's just a bad guy in a dark suit. He doesn't have any really any character development at all. He's just a bad guy up until episode 6, where he gets his redemption.
Now that you brought up that point, though, I'll just say this really fast. The way Darth Vader was in the prequel trilogy to how he acts in the original trilogy, it kind of doesn't match. It's like,
How Anakin was?
Yeah, it's I don't know,
well, I don't like the prequels at all. So.
Well, yeah, I know, but the fact that they're canon, we can't do anything about it. That's how George Lucas wrote it.
Yeah.
As a fault, the tragedy of Anakin, and then it's just Darth Vader. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was a awesome bad guy when we were kids.
Yeah.
But now that we're looking at it with the prequel trilogy attached, we're just
just
kind of a fallible character right there.
Yeah, I will say the Clone Wars cartoon.
That was awesome.
That was pretty good, and I think Anakin's a little bit better in that one.
I know.
As more Darth Vader-y.
Yeah.
But yeah, and just the prequels, if you're just looking at those.
Yeah.
He's kind of a twerp, annoying character, and then he just kills a bunch of children, and he's Darth Vader. So it's oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, another thing I didn't necessarily like, oh my goodness, what is this?
The Rathars?
Yeah!
The monsters?
Yeah, what is that?
Those were too CG and just too, they didn't feel Star Wars
It wasn't
at all.
Bad CG, but it was CG, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it didn't feel like it fit in Star Wars, it felt like a cartoon alien.
Well,
it didn't feel like an actual puppet alien.
You brought in the Clone Wars, the cartoon. It kind of felt like it belonged there, not on the actual film. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like the Rathars. I liked the scene. It would feel kind of cool, and it was the pacing was really fast. But just the actual Rathars themselves, a Rancor would have been better. Six or something. That
when I heard cool. Rathar, I thought it was a Rancor.
Yeah, me too. I was hoping for that.
I was like, oh, that'd be so cool. Let's.
What else did you like? Anything else you want to touch on?
I
didn't. This is a kind of a missed over fact, I think, or missed over point. I didn't feel the cinematography was strong at all. The cinematography was really, really bad. At least in my opinion, it felt almost like a TV show at sometimes. And especially the filming the action, the lightsaber battle was okay, but especially the piloting ones and the where they're in a ship. Especially when at the end with the what's it called?
Millennium Falcon?
Death Star 2.0.
Oh, okay.
Star Killer Base. With Star Killer Base,
I remember the two things that I want to talk about.
both the cinematography was bad. Like I didn't feel at all like I was in the action in the moment.
Well, I mean, that's kind of like a nod
over.
to the original trilogy, because I didn't really feel like I was in the action.
What?
There.
No, in episode 4?
With
the Death Star, like he's like you have so many shots of the pilots, and you have them like going like this and like that, and moving around and like shooting things.
I think J.J. Abrams went for like a bigger scale.
Yeah,
like
he tried to go for a bigger scale.
Yeah.
And I wanted more focus with the cinematography.
On to that point though, the cinematography of like the space battles, not space battles, but like just the starship battles.
Yeah.
It felt really kind of epic to me, but it felt Star Trek to me as well.
Wait, which starship battles?
Yeah.
Oh, like with the TIE Fighter?
Yeah, like the TIE Fighter,
okay,
and
then the opening shot was pretty cool.
Yeah, overhead the Star Killer base when they were all the X-wings versus like all the TIE Fighters. That was pretty good too. But one thing I want to talk about, the lightsaber battle, and this gets a pass clearly because Rey and Finn are not trained Jedi.
Yeah.
But why is Kylo Ren not looking like a badass?
Because he just got shot.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He can still fight.
And he does.
Freaking Anakin got his head cut off. He could still fight. Oh no,
he was on the ground.
Yeah, he was on the ground. Obi-Wan got like stabbed. Sort of. He could still fight.
By Dooku? Remember?
Yeah.
He was on the floor after that.
No, he
got like cut here and here.
Fine, whatever.
Ha. But yeah,
fine. Point to John Luke. But it was a bit underwhelming compared to the last one we saw, which is episode 3.
Yeah, episode 3 was good, but it was too long. It was so long and drawn out. This one felt so much more visceral and so much more just like they're just going at it. They're trying. They like can kind of wield a lightsaber, but not really. Like especially with
there's a different style because of the new the hilt on Kylo Ren. Did you like that lightsaber?
I ended up liking it.
I loved it.
At first I was like, this is so dumb. They're just using this as a ploy to like sell different types of lightsabers.
Right. When I first saw that in the trailer, I lost my mind. I was like, oh, that's so cool.
You were a believer from the beginning.
Oh yeah, and then I read somewhere on the internet that was actually a design by George Lucas, and I guess they just put it in. Yeah, it was like a concept design.
Right. Or it was probably supposed to look like that way originally, but they didn't have the budget to probably do those things.
Yeah. Point number 2 that I didn't like. I think we've gone to the Death Star well.
Yeah.
Too many times now. This is the third time we destroyed a Death Star.
Yeah.
Like we gotta, JJ, you gotta moving forward.
Yeah, they could have done something else.
Something else.
This was just like a Death Star 3.0 because there's a Death Star in number 6.
Yeah.
It felt like it was put in there just because they had to fight something big and bad. Like, okay.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't have any suggestions as to what I would have wanted it to be instead. But I think it's one too many times. Let's just end it there.
Yeah.
You know. Okay, let's get into specifics.
Okay.
Did you see Han dying?
Did I
did you see it coming from a mile away?
Once we were introduced to him, yeah. Because
Really?
I knew that Luke wasn't there, and I knew that I knew that Harrison Ford didn't really want to be in the Star Wars movies all that much anymore. He was getting kind of old.
Right.
So I pretty much figured they were gonna kill him.
Yeah, you were telling me off screen that he was in an interview where he believed Han should have died in Episode 6.
Yeah. He said, "Oh yeah, just leave me in carbonite. Don't rescue me. Just let me die." That's basically what he said.
Wow.
In so many words. But yeah, he wanted to just stop being in Star Wars. But then
Really?
they brought him back, and he was actually probably one of my favorite parts about this movie.
Oh
he
yeah,
was such a good Han Solo. That was actually Han Solo. That wasn't like Harrison Ford just like phoning it in.
It was actually
totally Han Solo.
Like it was a really good nostalgia tribute to.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember when they first announced it in the trailer when Chewbacca and Han were coming back. I was having such a bad day that day because I was on set filming and it was just like so crazy. And then my professor, he's just like, "Hey, Mike, watch this," and I just felt so much better.
Nice.
Yeah, for me, I saw Han potentially dying when he stepped on the bridge. But then when they did the lighting of the blue versus red, and then blue faded and red took over, I was like, okay, Han's gonna die for sure.
Yeah. And his death, it wasn't that spectacular.
That's another
kind of underwhelming because the story behind him and Kylo is just he's his son. That's why we should care that he kills him. There wasn't any like tension.
It hurt really. Though to see him die.
Yeah, it hurt,
but like it wasn't like
for the wrong reasons. Yeah, it wasn't because it was like a dramatic buildup. It's just because it's Han and he's dying.
Yeah. Oh well, back to just disappointment, kind of real fast. Leader
Snoke.
Snoke.
He wasn't that.
No, it's not
Impressive.
that. It's not that he wasn't impressive. It's that when they first showed him, he was like this towering figure,
Yeah, he's a
and then he's a
hologram.
hologram. I'm like, I would have loved to have like a Sith Lord that tall. That would have been
Maybe.
kind of cool, at least different. At least.
Yeah, at least it would be different.
Yeah.
They sort of did the same thing in number 5 though, where Emperor Palpatine, and it's just his head, so you can obviously tell it's a hologram.
Oh, yeah,
from
absolutely,
the
yeah.
start.
Mhm.
But his head hologram is like super big.
Oh,
So I think they
okay.
were kind of doing something like that.
Right. With.
I think another disappointment. I know we're talking about so many disappointments,
Well,
but
I mean,
promise
we
you,
have to nitpick it.
yeah,
you know,
we're
like,
nitpicking.
Yeah.
I love the film. Another thing I didn't like was the setup of like the Senate and this the whole backstory. It felt kind of glossed over, and like when Starkiller Base is killing the like Senate.
Did he destroy
planet,
Coruscant?
I don't think it was Coruscant.
Okay.
I think if you read the novel, which I haven't done, but I think I've heard from people who have read the novel, it's not Coruscant.
Okay.
Supposedly, I don't know. I could be wrong. But
right.
yeah, anyways, it felt very underwhelming. Like, oh, they just destroyed some planets that I should care about, but I don't, because I don't know what they are.
In episode 4, you felt
they
it,
are.
though.
Yeah.
It was like, whoa. Because we've never seen it before.
Yeah, well, that's Leia's planet, and you know they're all trying to get there,
Yeah.
and you know that, like, if they deliver the plans to that planet, then stuff's gonna, like, be there's gonna be, like, a victory for the good guys. But then they just blow it up, and you're like, With these planets, just like, oh, there's the Senate. They're gonna destroy it. Okay, it's destroyed. And nobody... Finn, I think, notices it, but even he's like, the Empire, they did it. Okay, nobody's sad about it, though. It's just like, they destroyed, like, 5 planets, and nobody's even crying or, like, saying anything mournful.
That again, it was just really dipping back into the well of a Death Star, and it's like... Even then, I really couldn't care.
Yeah, I didn't care at all about the planets.
A scene like that, you would get goosebumps, like, oh my god, that's just so much life lost. I was just like,
I mean, to be fair though, I mean, it's been done in Star Wars, so doing it now, like, it should have the same impact, like, seeing a planet die, but just as audience members, we're like, oh, we've seen that before, okay, whatever, even if it's 5 more planets that get destroyed, like, we've seen that, do something new.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness, I'm blanking out. I want to dip into a conspiracy theory real fast.
Okay.
Or not conspiracy theory, but like a theory. How much time do we have? We have 2 minutes, really fast.
All right.
Is Rey Anakin's granddaughter?
She might be.
Because the only reason why I say this is Yoda. Brandon calls her Yoda's cousin. The orange person on...
Oh, Maz Kanata.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was kind of...
Brandon calls her Yoda's cousin. It was really funny. But, like, she was saying, like, you know, the lightsaber passes on. Yeah. And it's chosen you. Well, it went from Anakin, it went to Luke, and now it's in Rey's possession. Like, when Finn was wielding it, it was like, okay, but, like, you got your ass kicked, and then Rey gets it, and she starts kicking ass.
Yeah.
So...
It's a definite possibility.
And the music... It's Anakin's music. Whenever,
really? I didn't know
like that thing. It's always playing when it's Rey, and then when she meets Luke, it's playing when it's on her face, not on Luke's face.
Yeah, it's a similar theme. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's Anakin's theme. It's Anakin and Padme's like tragedy love theme, but like it's definitely hers, and I'm just like, I think that might be.
It could be. It could be.
Yeah, it would be really cool to see how that plays out.
I'd be fine with whatever they do as long as they do it well. Just make her whoever, related to whoever, or not. Just make her just some random person. I'll be fine with it as long as you just do it well.
Right. Do we have anything else you want to talk about?
Rating? How would you rate it out of 10?
Oh, okay. Okay, really fast. Out of 10, I would give it an 8.5.
I would give it 8.6. So I like it a little bit more than you.
Just to beat me, yeah. I mean, obviously it was great.
Yeah. It had problems.
Just nitpicking, but like nothing really that destroyed the film for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, obviously, please do something different.
Do we have time for a quote? Is there a quote?
Go for it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I think it's from Dan Murrell. And if it's not from Dan Murrell, I'm sorry for whoever said this. Dan Murrell is from like Screen Junkies or something. He said Star Wars is a good, whereas Jurassic World was a bad movie with good moments, Star Wars was a good movie with some problems. So that's like my general take on it. Like,
okay,
it wasn't a great movie. It was a good movie. It had problems, But at least it wasn't like Jurassic World where it was just like a bad movie and just with some good moments.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So that's how I feel too.
Okay, well, stick around. We're going to be talking about more Star Wars episodes. So we'll be back.
See ya.